Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to the family, and if you're an old subscriber, thanks for coming back. So for today's video, we are going to be talking about the foundation year. So as many of you already know, because you watch my videos, I did not get into Oxford the conventional way. I applied as a student on the foundation year before I was accepted as an undergraduate student. So yeah, that was quite a unique story and a unique journey because there'd never ever been a foundation year in Oxford or in Cambridge. So I was part of the first group of 10 students who had ever been on a foundation year in Oxford or Cambridge. So yeah, that's the background story with the foundation year. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what is the foundation year, how did I feel on the foundation year, what my experience was, and then also answer some of your questions because a lot of you sent in so many questions asking me different things about the foundation year, so I thought I might as well answer it on here. Maybe someone watching this video also has the same questions and then we can just answer it and have a little question and answer party. I'm gonna start off by giving you the definition that Oxford has made about what the foundation year is. Then I will talk about how I personally felt, and that is going to be my journey, my experience, how I felt. I can guarantee you that if you spoke to someone else who was on the foundation year in my group, they would have a completely different story than if you spoke to another person. All 10 of us would have a completely different version of what the foundation year was to us and what it meant for us and what it did for us. So please don't think that my journey and story is exactly how it's going to be because it's different for every single person. But that being said, yeah, I'm happy to share my story and hopefully it helps and maybe someone applies. So woohoo! So the LMH foundation year, this is what is on the website. The foundation year is a 1-year fully funded course that takes academically able students from underrepresented groups and through a combination of academic and personal support enables them to fulfill their academic potential. So that is what the foundation year is. The foundation year is essentially a free year at Oxford University where you are taught about your subject that you're going to apply for, and you're given extra skills around that subject to make sure you're prepared for undergraduate study, whether it be at Oxford or any other university that is a Russell Group university. So the foundation year was completely free, like I said. And why do I begin with that? It's because I know that financial hardships are actually very real for a lot of people, and going to Oxford for a year, it's essentially a gap year, if you may, taking out a year of study to go to Oxford and learn there before you go to university properly is quite risky and it's going to be very expensive. So I know that for a lot of people who would need a course like the foundation year might be put off worrying that they can't afford it. That's why I start with it's free, because for me, that if it wasn't free, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have been able to do it. So I really want to stress that, guys, it's fully funded. Your tuition fee is covered, your accommodation is covered, your food is covered, and then you're given spending money on top to make sure, you know, you're able to just enjoy your university life like all of your friends. So that's, for me, that's one of the most important things to highlight, that it is fully funded, and which is really, really good because my mom didn't feel like, should you go, should you not? She let me go because she knew that there wouldn't be a financial burden that comes back from it. So that is something that to me is really important. Anyway, for some people, like I said, it's different, but for me, that was one of the factors that really, really encouraged me to go, because I knew that I'd be supported financially. Okay, that's financials. Food wise, like I said, they put money onto your university card each term so that you can go downstairs to the canteen just like all of your friends and eat the same food at the same prices and not worry about, should I just not go down because it's too expensive, can I really afford? They put money on your card that lasts for the term. They've worked out an average of how much each student needs to eat, and they give you more than enough. So I don't worry about that. Then in terms of, I don't know, like buying things that you need, like books and laptops and whatever, like that's also covered for you. So they really look after you. Like Lady Margaret Hall, like I could cry just thinking about it. They really looked after us. So that was that in terms of financials. Oh, and also accommodation, that is paid for as well, and you are not like you're not put in a corner alone. Everyone always asks me that, like, where did you live? Like, I lived amongst my friends. I lived with the other freshers because I was a fresher. Like, I was in my first year of university study, whether it's foundation or first or PhD, what, I was in my first year of academic study at the University of Oxford, and that's what my other friends were in as well. Like, whether they were freshers or not, I mean foundation year students or not, they were still in their first year, so we were all treated the same bathroom, same bedroom, same floor. It was just perfect. So yeah, we were very, very integrated. There was no like segregation amongst us. So yeah, no, it was fine. Like, my room was next door to all of my friends, and the foundation year students were spread out. We were spread out. We were just, you couldn't tell unless you asked and said, are you a foundation year student? You didn't know, and you couldn't tell. It wasn't like, I feel so, no, you couldn't tell. It was fine. Like, best time ever. And what else would you want to know about that kind of technical stuff? Oh, you had a pass that allowed you access into everything, essentially. I mean, at first, for us, in the first couple of weeks, our university cards didn't work into everything, so that was quite awkward and embarrassing, but that's been fixed now. So the second year foundation year students who are now there, which is crazy, like, I feel so old, but yeah, the second year of foundation year students, their cards work for everything, so it's fine, and you are allowed access into for your subject, just like other students. You know, a biology student wouldn't be allowed into like a history place, you know what I mean? So that's normal in that sense, but you had access to what everyone else that does your subject had access to. Perfect. And in terms of applying for the foundation year, you have a list of different subjects that you can choose from, and the best thing you can do, the smartest thing you can do, is to choose a subject that you're actually going to study on undergraduate, because there's no point of saying I'm going to apply for biology on the foundation year and then switch and do law. Like, don't do that. Like, just apply for what you genuinely are passionate about, something that you see yourself pursuing for the rest of your undergraduate study. Great. And in terms of progression, this is something else I've got to point out. On the foundation year at the University of Oxford, it is not guaranteed that you will be given a place to study at the University of Oxford afterwards. You are on this foundation year, and it's a separate qualification from undergraduate study. So you complete this year, which preps you for undergraduate study at any university, any Russell Group university in the United Kingdom, not just Oxford. And once you're done, then they, you know, say yes or no to you coming back. But the whole point is you've got this qualification that has prepped you for undergraduate study, and then if you want to go to Oxford, like, woohoo, but the foundation year within itself is a qualification. Okay, and yeah, it's not guaranteed that you'll be kept on, and on my cohort there were 10 of us to start, and only 7 carried on to their undergraduate courses. I think that's it for all of like the technical stuff. So now let's get into how was my foundation year like course, and how did I enjoy it. Like, I had the best time on the foundation year, honestly. Like, there were obviously a lot of like hardships and stuff like that, but I feel like that's what comes with any first year of study at any place. Like, you feel a bit like out of place sometimes, or you feel a bit like, oh my god, am I actually going to be good at this? Am I going to pass? I think that's like a normal feeling. But yeah, in terms of friends and socializing and getting involved, I really did enjoy my foundation year. I just felt like I gained so many skills, and it's split into 4 strands, by the way. So you have your actual study for your subject that you chose to do, then you are given academic and critical thinking writing lessons. You're also given digital literacy lessons, which you are doing with the principal, which is so cool. And then you have like extra prep, like debate class and things like that, just to make sure you're ready for the Oxford life, because Oxford is quite different from other universities in respect to you do have to like engage in a lot of speaking and answering. It's all one-to-one and debate and all of that sort of thing. So it's nice that the foundation year actually gave you those 4 strands to prepare and to feel really ready, because when I stepped into my freshers week as an undergraduate, wow, I was like, this is so cool. Like, I felt really ready, and I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. Cool. And also I could also do another video on the actual application process of the foundation year, because this video would go on forever, but that's how I felt on my foundation year. And yeah, like I said, the only thing is we weren't allowed to go to lectures, and that was fine, because why would I want to go to lectures in my foundation year when I could go in my first year and like repeat everything? It wouldn't have been fun. So you basically just get an overview of your degree on the foundation year, and you get prep and like the basics, the foundations of your degree. And then in your first year, that's when you actually go in depth and you study not properly, but you really study in depth about your degree rather than in your foundation year. Cool. So let's start the questions that you guys asked me about the foundation year, and let's get answering. Okay, so the first question that I've received about the foundation year on my Instagram poll is it true that if you did a foundation year, your course in first year would be slightly easier? So like technically yes, in terms of the foundation year would give you preparation and give you the foundations of what you're going to study in your first year. So yeah, it does make things a bit easier, not easier, but it really helps you get prepared. So when you enter your first year, you kind of you're aware of the system, the pace, the language, the technical terms of your degree. You don't learn everything, because that wouldn't be fair on your friends that you're going to meet in your actual first year, but they kind of give you an overview. So yes, it does make things slightly easier, but not in terms of you get answers and you get to know. It's not like that. It's just preparation. Compared to your first year, did you have more work or less work during your foundation year? I promise you, and this is not a joke, I promise you I had more work on my foundation year than I did in my first year. And it's hard to compare though, but like I really feel that, because we had 4 strands, like I said before. We had to do our actual subject, which was ancient history and archaeology for me. Then I had to do academic and critical thinking writing with this lady called Helen. Then I had to do my digital literacy classes with my principal, Alan. Then I had to do like the extra undergraduate prep stuff, like the debate classes and writing speeches and all that stuff. So there were 4 strands, whereas in my first year of my actual degree, I just do my degree. Yes, different modules, but it's just my degree. On the foundation year, I was writing like 3 essays a week for 3 different people. Helen would want an essay on critical thinking and academic writing. Alan wants one that's like in journalism style. Then your actual degree people, like your actual subject, they want like a proper essay from you for your subject. So you're writing in 3 different styles for 3 different people each week, whereas on my degree I just write for my tutor, who is my tutor for that subject, and it never, like the style never changes, the same style, just different questions. So it is like more, the foundation year was more demanding, like hardest year academically that I've ever had, by far. So it's not easy. People often think, oh yeah, foundation year means it's going to be easier. No, it's not. If anything, it's harder. I'm not trying to put you off, but that's how I felt. The foundation year for me was harder than my first year of my degree. Did people in your university look down on students who did the foundation year? I mean, I don't want to lie to you guys, you know what I mean? I think because we were the first year to ever do it, people didn't know what it was or what it meant. So I think some of us sometimes did feel a bit looked down upon at first, because people just had that misconception that the foundation year was like it means you're dumb, or it means that you will learn the standards. Or that was like the initial, I think in the first 2 months, that was the initial reaction, like, who are you and why are you here? Why do we need a foundation year? No one really understood. But over time, they finally understood, like, oh, we're here, we're working hard, like, it's because of external factors that were out of our control. And people actually got their heads around it. And the more we shared what it was, the more they got it. And now, the second year foundation year students that I've came in, from what I've seen and heard from them, I don't think that they feel looked down upon. Or I think it took time. It was a new scheme. People had to get used to it and understand what it is. And even sometimes when people ask me different questions about the foundation year, I can't answer them because I don't know everything. This is a new scheme. It was launched in 2016. It's brand new. There are not enough studies around it yet. People are still trying to understand, like, what is it? So Yes and no. For me, I was very accepted. People were so loving and caring and helpful and stuff, but I know that some of our cohort didn't feel that same reception. So just trying to give a balanced, don't fight me, but it's fine now. It's fine now. How hard was a foundation year compared to A levels? I would say in terms of how hard, it's hard to compare because they're so different. They're so different. I'd say maybe the foundation year at Oxford was a lot harder than my A levels. I think so. A lot more demanding, a lot more difficult, because you felt like you were on a year-long interview essentially. So it did feel a lot harder, but it's worth it. Please don't make me let you put this. I don't want to put you guys off, but I don't want to lie to you either. So it was one of the best years of my life, but it was difficult. It was challenging because that's what studying is. So it was as hard as it should have been. I don't think it was like unfair, and no, they were measuring our academic potential and our ability. So I think that's a lot harder to do. So yeah, no, it was fine, but it was harder than A levels. How do foundation year students apply for uni on UCAS? Do you use your foundation year average or? So with the Oxford foundation year, you arrive on September the 25th. Then by October the 15th, you reapply to UCAS. So you use your A-level grades, because you'd have your grades at this point, which is something that is unique to you, because most people who apply for university through UCAS don't have their second year results yet, but you will have yours. So you can still apply the normal way through UCAS, which is fine, and then you get your offer. Some people will say we just want you based on your A-level results, or some people will say based on how you pass the foundation year. So they'll wait for you, apply in October, then they'll wait for you to graduate from the foundation year in June, and then they'll say your offer is based on how you graduate in June. So I hope that made sense. And also when you're applying for the foundation year, it's external to UCAS. So when you're applying in the normal second year of A-levels, before you have your A-level results and stuff, you apply to all of your universities, send that off, done. Then you apply for the foundation year, which is external to UCAS, so it doesn't mess up with any of your university places. And so it's really, really worth applying. I would say there's no reason to not apply. Are you guaranteed a place in a uni that you did your foundation year in? So I don't know how foundation years work all over the country, but for the Oxford foundation year, you are not guaranteed a place. You have to reapply and then find out as the year goes on. So you know you're not guaranteed a place. It's 50-50 whether you get in or not, and it depends on how you pass the foundation year, how your interview goes, how your admissions test is, and just how the overall year is. So no, you're not guaranteed, unfortunately. So like I said before, on my cohort there were 10 of us and only 7 of us were given places to study at Oxford. So 70% pass rate, if you may. How many people made it into Oxford, and from the ones who didn't, why didn't they get in? So all I can say on that question is, like I said already, there were 7 of us that got in out of the 10, and the ones that didn't, it's based on a wide range of things, and it's not my place to share their stories, because it's their stories to tell, but it's based, your place at Oxford is based on a wide range of things. That's why it's difficult for me to say. It could be your interview, it could be your admissions test, it could be your A-level results, which doesn't really make sense, but it could be how well you do on the actual foundation year in your foundation year exams. It's based on so many things that it's difficult to pinpoint why someone doesn't get in. And sometimes people choose not to stay. Like in the second year cohort, this lovely young lady decided, you know what, Oxford is not for me, and even though she had an offer there, she decided, I don't want to go. So it's based on a lot of different things why some people don't end up staying. It's a choice. Some people choose not to stay, some people don't get to stay, and there are different reasons why. Do you get taught the same topics as A-level in your foundation year? No, you don't. You get taught the stuff that you will learn in your undergraduate degree, so you get an overview of what you're applying for in your actual undergraduate degree. So for me, I was given a quick overview of the different modules that could be offered to me on my actual undergraduate course, and that's how I chose what I wanted to do in my first year and stuff like that, because I'd had an overview during my foundation year. You don't get taught specifics because that's not fair. You'd be way too ahead. So they give give you just an overview. Did you ever feel behind, like you could have completed a second year by now? No, I never felt like that, never. Because to me, a lot of my friends took gap years anyway, so we're still graduating together, and this is something that I needed. I needed to do this for my own personal reasons. I wanted to gain these skills. I wanted everything I've learned from the foundation year, even if I hadn't have gotten into Oxford, for me would never have been a waste. Like I've never felt a year behind, and I've got so many friends in my actual academic year now who are the same age or older than me. So when you're at university, it doesn't matter about age or years, and everyone has their own time. Well, yeah, so you basically are treated the same. It's a brilliant course. I absolutely adored it, and I wish I could do it again, because I would in a heartbeat. And it's basically one of the best things that ever happened to me, because of that, all of these wonderful opportunities have came around, and I get to show off my academic potential, which is amazing. And if you love your course as well, like, this is the best thing to do, because you get to really understand your course in depth before you launch straight into your degree, which I think is fantastic. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Please do hit the subscribe button, because we're trying to make it to 10k before the year's over. I have about 3,000 more to go, so let's keep on hitting the subscribe button. We are small, but we are powerful. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment down below what you've learned about the foundation year, or what like you enjoyed most about this video, and then we can like keep on talking, because I love talking to you guys. So thank you so much, and see you in my next video. Bye.